We're going racing. We are at Anglesey, a track I've never been to. I've got a little bit of a racing dilemma after all this waffle about I used to be a racer, I used to race. Do you remember when I used to race? All that nonsense. It got me thinking. I've been dying to get back out, dying to go and do some more racing. Entered myself into Aberdare Park Road races. Then it realised that it's actually 7 years since I last raced a bike, and I've actually lost my national licence. I've been downgraded to clubman, so I spoke to the guys at the ACU, said, right, what do I need to do to get my national licence back to qualify me for Aberdare Park? Go racing. That was what they said. With that, out of the blue, Kawasaki spoke to us and said, we've got a gap on a bike at Anglesey, do you want to go racing? So it couldn't happen at a better time. So we're here this week, getting some laps in, getting some race results in, racing again next weekend, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get my national licence back in time for Aberdare. I can stop being a has-been. Be interesting to see how things have changed. I know lots of the scrutineer and regs have changed. The paddock still feels the same, full of people that are buzzing about racing bikes, so I'm too. We had a long late night buggy drive in the old Transit, so now it's time to unpack, get kitted up and head out and learn Anglesey. Now this is a Kawasaki Z900. It's in their kind of hyper naked street bike class. It's a 4-cylinder 900cc bike that was never designed as a race bike. However, Kawasaki gave it to their superbike team, to the guys at MSS, and said, please make this all racy. And look at it. It looks awesome. So what have they done to turn it into a race bike? A few key points. 1, slick tires. 2, rear sets with a race shift pattern, so it's down for up the gears, up for down the gears, and a bit of adjustment on them to move the foot pegs further up and further back for more clearance on the track. There's also a quick shifter that lets you rattle up through the gears without having to shut the gas, which they're nice on the road, but being able to shift at full throttle on the track does actually help a bit with lap times and helps keep you a bit more stable on the bike. The biggest and most important changes for me are in the suspension. It's got a proper cartridge kit in the front fork and an uprated rear shock. When you start pushing a bike hard on track, those are the components that really make the difference. To top all that off, there's a full race system and a remap to try and release as much power from the bike as possible, but no internal engine tuning at all. As race bikes go, it's one of the gnarliest, wildest looking race bikes I've ridden for a long time, and I can't wait to get out and give it a proper thrashing on track. Because I turned up on Saturday night at midnight, Sunday morning has been a mad rush. All I've getting was 10 minutes emergency practice to get a few laps on the track, an eye for the bike, and then it's straight into my first race. What could go wrong? I kind of know my way around. I know the first turn's left and the second one's right. And then there's a really fast bit. And then after that, I'm not quite sure what happens, but there's going to be loads of people to chase. Race 1 didn't go too badly. I got second in class. I think I was something like 11th overall. I managed to learn the track. That was the important bit. I kind of have an idea of where I'm going now. Next race is going to be about actually pushing and trying to get a bit more pace and maybe see if I can catch the guy in front of me. He's leading the championship at the moment and he's on a Street Triple RS. So we'll see what we can do. Oh, that was bloody awesome. That race started from 12th, finished first in class and 6th, I think, out of all the 600s as well. But absolutely blown away with the performance of the bike. Obviously buzzing to have a win, but real massive thanks to Kawasaki for chucking us on a bike, chucking us out to race and throwing me in at the deep end. Final job of the day, race 3. Obviously I want to try and win my class again. There are quite a few Supersport bikes out there and I reckon I can take a few more scalps in the Supersport class. So let's see just how far we can push it on Kawasaki's naked street bike that was never meant to be a race bike. All done for us at Anglesey. I have a few things I've learnt today. Number one, Anglesey might be one of my new favourite circuits. I really enjoyed the place. Coming here stone cold this morning, not having a clue where it went, to starting to push harder and harder this afternoon and finding a bit of rhythm with the track. It is a wonderful place. It's really fast, it's really flowing, and it's in the most picturesque place I've ever ridden a motorcycle. It's like everyone describes it as our own Welsh version of Phillip Island. I think they're right. It is actually genuinely stunning place to ride a motorcycle. Furthermore, I think we have proved that the Z900 is a competitive bike in the Streetbike Cup. 2 wins and a 2nd place from the back of the grid. I can't do that on my own. You've got to have a good bike to win races. There's no kind of heroics involved. That bike is definitely competitive. And in a field that's currently been dominated by a trend of 3-cylinder bikes, I'm hoping that'll give some more people the confidence to go green, to switch to a different manufacturer and yeah, mix up the grids a little bit. The strongest parts of the bike for me were definitely coming off the turn. Even against the Supersport bikes I was racing, coming off the turn, like out from the apex, the Z900 drives so hard. I had the standard traction control on setting 1 and it hardly interfered all day except as the tyres started to get a bit hot in the afternoon. So really, it's a very easy bike to ride fast if you use the traction control like that. What would I change on it? Nothing. We had technicians from No Limits helping us all day saying, oh, would you like any changes? And it was like, honestly, it works. just leave it alone. The best fun I had today was definitely dicing with one of the riders in the Supersport 600 class. We were back and forth, turn to turn. He had a lot more mid-corner speed than I was able to carry on what's clearly not a Supersport bike, but I could usually outbrake him. The braking performance and the off-apex performance of the Z900 were really good. So we ended up in this ridiculous dice for the whole race, and both of us finished the last 2 races giggling our heads off, high fives on the warm down lap. A perfect way to get back into racing. So first of all, I want a massive thanks to No Limits and Kawasaki for putting us up on the day. Anglesey Circuit is an incredible place. If you can get booked on a track day there, it's worth the drive, I promise you that. Secondly, that's it now. The floodgates have opened, haven't they? Chris will from now on be skint and limping because I've definitely got the racing bug back. I love it.
Put that there, can't be seen with a pair of pants in my hand, can I?
Awesome. Thank you so much for such a good day.
Not at all.
The bike's an absolute weapon. It's awesome. So yeah.
First 2 wins for it.
Yeah. Broken the duck now. There'll be many more on it, I'm sure.
Peaky, we were watching from the far side over there.
Yeah.
And saw your little stand up as well.
We can do it now, can't we? Look at that. It's a race winning motorcycle. A happy day for any bike's life.
Superb.
Yeah. No, I had a wicked tussle with that guy on the 600 Supersport
yes.
bike as well.
Well, you got 4th overall, didn't you, in the last one?
I was buzzing with that, yeah. Against 600s, that's pretty mega on that thing.
I saw him once up into the hairpin. He went up underneath you and you literally went, haha, and took him straight back again.
No, mega man.
Mega job.
Sorry you bust your foot up, but motorbikes.
They are. Cheers.
Thanks, dude. So we've had an absolutely blinding day here at Anglesey, and because I'm 8 years old, I'm super excited to have some trophies for the mantelpiece. It's been a very, very long time since I won anything, and even longer time since I had a trophy for motorbike racing, so I'm going to sleep well tonight.